Imagine facing the trials of daily life with a sense of unshakable calm. Your coffee spills, a colleague frustrates you, or a traffic jam ruins your day. But instead of reacting with anger or stress, you smile, perhaps even laugh, and continue with your day as if nothing happened. This might sound like a fantasy, but it's a way of life that the Stoic philosophers would endorse. A life where humor serves as a powerful tool for maintaining inner peace. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC, has long fascinated scholars, philosophers, and those seeking a deeper understanding of how to live a fulfilling life. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot, and find tranquility in the face of life's inevitable challenges. It's a philosophy that remains deeply relevant today, offering practical wisdom for navigating the complexities of modern life. But where does humor fit into this? After all, Stoicism is often portrayed as a stern, emotionless discipline, an approach to life that seemingly leaves little room for laughter. Yet, as we'll explore in this video, the Stoics didn't shun humor. In fact, they recognized its value as a tool for resilience and perspective. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only how humor can be compatible with Stoic principles, but also how it can enhance your practice of Stoicism in daily life. What is Stoicism? Stoicism is more than just a set of ethical guidelines. It's a comprehensive way of approaching life. The Stoics believed that the universe is governed by reason, and that our ability to live in accordance with this reason is the key to achieving eudaimonia, or a flourishing life. Central to Stoic philosophy are the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues guide us in making decisions that are rational, ethical, and in harmony with the natural order. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our thoughts, reactions, and attitudes. This is where the famous Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control comes in. Understanding what is within our power, our thoughts, choices, actions, and what is not, the actions of others, natural events, etc. By focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we cultivate a state of inner peace free from the disturbances of external circumstances. Stoicism is often misunderstood as a philosophy of emotionlessness, where practitioners are expected to suppress their feelings and endure life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. However, this is a distortion of Stoic teachings. The Stoics did not advocate for the elimination of emotions, but for their proper management. They distinguished between healthy emotions that arise from rational judgments and unhealthy ones that stem from irrational beliefs or desires. For instance, feelings of compassion, love, and even a sense of humor can be seen as rational responses that align with Stoic principles, provided they don't lead us away from virtue. The goal is not to become unfeeling robots, but to develop emotional resilience, responding to life's ups and downs with wisdom and equanimity. So, where does humor fit into this philosophical framework? Given that Stoicism encourages us to see the world from a rational, detached perspective, humor can play a crucial role in helping us maintain this outlook. Let's delve into the writings of the key Stoic philosophers to see how they viewed humor and its place in a Stoic life. Key Stoic philosophers and their teachings on humor. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings compiled as Meditations, often reflects on the transient nature of life and the importance of maintaining perspective. While not explicitly humorous, his reflections reveal a subtle recognition of the absurdity in human affairs. For instance, Marcus writes about the futility of anger and the importance of accepting others' flaws with patience. One could argue that underlying this patience is a recognition that human folly is in many ways laughable, an acknowledgement that can lighten our spirits rather than weigh them down. Seneca, the Roman statesman and philosopher, offers more direct commentary on the role of humor in Stoic practice. In his writings, Seneca frequently uses wit and irony to make philosophical points. His letters to Lucilius, for example, are filled with humorous observations about the human condition. Seneca understood that humor could be a way to expose the absurdity of human desires and fears, helping us to detach from them. In On the Shortness of Life, Seneca remarks on the foolishness of people who waste their time on trivial pursuits, subtly encouraging us to laugh at our own missteps and to focus on what truly matters. Epictetus, whose teachings were recorded by his students, emphasized the importance of maintaining a rational perspective, even in the face of adversity. Although Epictetus didn't write explicitly about humor, his philosophy is deeply aligned with the idea that we should not take life too seriously. Epictetus often used analogies that border on humorous to illustrate his points, such as comparing life to a play where we must perform our roles without getting attached to the outcome. This detachment, a key Stoic principle, naturally leads to a lighter, more humorous outlook on life's challenges. There are several historical anecdotes that illustrate the use of humor by those who were influenced by Stoic principles. Diogenes the Cynic, often seen as a precursor to Stoicism, famously lived a life of radical simplicity and used biting humor to critique the social norms of his time. While not a Stoic himself, Diogenes' use of humor to convey philosophical truths resonates with Stoic ideals, showing that humor can be a powerful tool for both critique and self-reflection. The role of humor in Stoic practice and one of the key tenets of Stoicism is maintaining a broad perspective on life. The Stoics taught that many of the things we worry about are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Humor, with its ability to highlight the absurd and the contradictory, can be a powerful tool for achieving this perspective. By laughing at life's challenges, we can reduce their power over us and see them for what they truly are, temporary blips on the radar of our existence. Consider the daily annoyances we all face: getting stuck in traffic, dealing with difficult people, or experiencing minor setbacks at work. From a Stoic perspective, these are trivial matters, yet they often provoke strong emotional reactions. Humor can help us reframe these situations, allowing us to laugh at the absurdity of getting worked up over things that, in the larger context, don't matter much. This isn't about dismissing our problems, but rather about seeing them in their true light, a practice that can bring immense relief. Adversity is an inevitable part of life, and the Stoics believed that how we respond to it defines our character. Humor can be an effective way to manage adversity, allowing us to maintain our composure and resilience. For example, when faced with a difficult situation, instead of succumbing to frustration or despair, we might choose to find something humorous in the situation. This shift in perspective not only lightens our mood, but also helps us approach the problem with a clearer, more rational mind. In the workplace, for example, a stressful deadline can be met with a sense of dread, or with a lighthearted joke that diffuses the tension. By choosing the latter, we maintain our inner calm and prevent stress from overwhelming us. This approach is deeply Stoic, as it reflects the principle of focusing on our response to events rather than the events themselves. Daily reflection with humor. Incorporating humor into your daily Stoic practice can be a powerful way to maintain perspective. For instance, during your evening reflection, when you review the day's events and your responses to them, try to identify moments where you took things too seriously. Reflect on how a humorous perspective might have changed your reaction. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more balanced, lighthearted approach to life's challenges. Humor in social interactions. The Stoics placed a high value on social virtues such as kindness, fairness, and understanding. Humor can enhance these virtues by making social interactions more pleasant and less confrontational. When we use humor to diffuse tension or to connect with others, we practice Stoic principles in a way that strengthens our relationships. However, it's important to use humor that is inclusive and kind, aligning with the Stoic commitment to justice and fairness. Laughter as a form of mindfulness. Laughter brings us into the present moment, much like mindfulness. When we laugh, we're fully engaged in the now, free from worries about the past or future. By embracing humor, we can practice being present in the moment, appreciating life's quirks and contradictions without becoming attached to them. This practice is particularly useful in stressful situations, where a humorous outlook can immediately shift our perspective, bringing us back to a state of calm and clarity. Stoicism, humor, and mental resilience. Mental resilience, the ability to remain calm, composed and rational in the face of adversity, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that by cultivating an inner fortress of rationality and virtue, we could withstand any external pressure. Humor, as we've discussed, is a powerful tool in building this resilience. It allows us to take a step back, see the bigger picture, and recognize that many of our worries are not as serious as they seem. Consider the Stoic practice of negative visualization, where one imagines the worst-case scenario as a way to prepare for life's uncertainties. This practice can be complemented by humor. For example, after imagining a worst-case scenario, one might follow it up with a humorous thought about how they would handle it. This not only reduces the fear associated with the scenario, but also reinforces the Stoic idea that we can choose our response to any situation. One famous example is the story of Cato the Younger, a Stoic who lived during the final years of the Roman Republic. Known for his stern adherence to Stoic principles, Cato nonetheless used humor to cope with the absurdities of political life. When faced with opposition or ridicule, he would often respond with wit, diffusing tension and demonstrating his unshakable resolve. This ability to laugh in the face of adversity not only preserved Cato's mental resilience but also earned him the respect of his peers. Identify the absurd. When faced with a difficult or frustrating situation, take a moment to step back and identify the absurdity or irony in it. This practice can help you shift from frustration to amusement, making it easier to maintain your Stoic composure. Use self-deprecating humor. Stoicism teaches us to be humble, recognizing that we are all fallible. Self-deprecating humor is a way to practice this humility, helping us to laugh at our own mistakes and imperfections. By doing so, we detach from our ego and cultivate a more balanced perspective. Laugh with others, not at them. Humor is a social tool, and when used wisely, it can build connections and foster understanding. However, it's important to use humor that uplifts rather than diminishes. Laughing with others rather than at them aligns with the Stoic virtues of justice and kindness, promoting harmony in our relationships. Integrating humor into modern Stoic practice. Stoic practices such as journaling, negative visualization, and the dichotomy of control are all integral to maintaining a Stoic mindset. By incorporating humor into these practices, we can enhance their effectiveness and make them more enjoyable. For example, in your Stoic journal after writing about a challenging event, try to find something humorous about it. This practice not only lightens your mood, but also reinforces the Stoic principle of perspective, reminding you that most things in life are not as serious as they seem. Similarly, when practicing negative visualization, after imagining a worst-case scenario, follow it up with a humorous thought about how you would handle it. This approach reduces the fear associated with the exercise and helps you build mental resilience. The key is to strike a balance between seriousness and lightness, allowing humor to complement rather than undermine your Stoic practice. Stoicism teaches us to take our inner work seriously, to strive for virtue, wisdom, and integrity in all that we do. However, it doesn't demand that we live joyless, somber lives. In fact, the ability to balance seriousness with lightness is a sign of true Stoic mastery. By integrating humor into our practice, we acknowledge the challenges of life without becoming overwhelmed by them. We learn to laugh at ourselves and the world, maintaining our tranquility and virtue in the process. Conclusion. As we've explored throughout this video, humor is not only compatible with Stoicism, but can be a powerful ally in the Stoics' journey. By embracing humor, we enhance our perspective, resilience, and social connections, all while staying true to the core Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Humor allows us to see the world with clarity, to detach from the trivialities that often consume us, and to find joy even in the face of adversity. I encourage you to start integrating humor into your daily Stoic practice, whether it's through daily reflections, social interactions, or simply laughing at the absurdities of life. You'll find that humor not only enriches your Stoic practice, but also brings a deeper sense of peace and joy. Remember, Stoicism isn't about denying the complexities of life, but about navigating them with wisdom, grace, and a good dose of humor. So next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what's funny about this situation? How can I respond with both reason and lightheartedness? By doing so, you'll find that Stoicism, far from being a cold and rigid philosophy, is a path to a life well lived, with a smile. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about applying Stoic principles in your life, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts on how you use humor in your Stoic practice, and let's keep the conversation going.